Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Hisashiburi. Good to see you again after so long. I guess it's time for an update video. I actually recorded one video earlier today, which you're going to see after this video, because I'm recording them in reverse like an idiot, because somehow I managed to get off on a whole different topic when I started writing, and therefore it turned into some other video instead of an update video. So now that this trip is done and I'm headed back home for the night, I have a dinner appointment this evening that I need to be back in town for. So we are on the Tomei Expressway heading in towards Tokyo, and of course there's traffic on a Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday, October 23rd, I believe it is. The time is about 3:24 p.m. It has been a glorious Sunday. Yesterday was a kind of cloudy, cool Saturday. Spent most of the time in town, didn't do much. Today, Sunday, I had a lunch date earlier today, and then hit the road on the bike to go take care of some business and just to kind of relax a bit. That's all done, so heading back into Tokyo again to get back in time for my dinner appointment. But okay, since the last time we talked, probably was April, I guess, this year, I had attempted to record a couple other videos in the interim since that last video, but I don't know. I mean, as you'll hear in the second video, the same excuse basically. I feel like I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to what I make, and while they're not perfect, I'm not happy with them, so I don't upload. Sorry. Anyway, but aside from all of that, let's see. Since April, a lot has changed. Because usually I would say, okay, well, not much has changed. Tokyo's kind of boring. You know, things are just normal, I guess, for the most part. But now Japan has reopened the borders, tourists here again, which is good. It's kind of nice to see some places full again. Like, I don't know. I thought when the borders opened back up, I thought initially that I would have mixed feelings about it, because it was kind of nice to have the town to yourself, kind of. You know, like you didn't have, like, places we were eating at and places we were visiting, you know, there were never any tourists around, so that was bad for business for them, but, you know, good for us residents to have pretty much the run of the town for the last 2.5 years. But that all said, it's good to see people back enjoying Japan that want to be here and taking the culture and food and sights and whatnot, so that's all good. Not to mention, let's not even begin to talk about the exchange rate right now, which is literally killing me. Ever since the US dollar has started to accelerate in appreciation, am I saying that right? Not depreciation, but appreciation. In other words, the US dollar is really expensive now. So as of yesterday, or Friday I guess it was, the dollar was at 147 yen to the dollar. It was at 150, and it hit 151 there for a moment. Then the Bank of Japan or the Ministry of Finance did something and say, oh, this is not good, and sold off a bunch of US dollar, I think. And it dropped 3 yen down to 147 and kind of stuck there. Haven't checked it since then, but I don't think it's going to move since the markets are closed. But that makes everything so much more expensive that you import, or anything that comes from outside of Japan, because a lot of commodities are in US dollar. And, you know, if I want to go back to America, everything is like 20, 30, 35% more expensive. Looking at airline tickets, it's just ridiculous. Even for an economy ticket, for a very basic seat, is like Sanjuman, or about, well, in equal terms, about $3,000, right? But that's not really what it is, because you can buy a ticket in US dollars for $2,300, I think, something like that, maybe a little cheaper. But going to America, aside from the airline ticket cost, you know, the overall cost is just staying there. Well, I'm used to paying 100 and, like, we were comfortable with 110 to 120 yen per dollar. That was kind of like the accepted norm, except for the 2011-2012 period, wherein the yen got really strong, and it went down to something like 76 yen to each dollar. So that was great for us. Terrible for our exporters though in Japan, because they were losing a lot of money on the exports. So yeah, so the companies that are exporting, yeah, they're making a lot of money here because they're repatriating the U.S. dollars in the yen, and it's good for them. But are they really passing that profit down to the employees? Not really. So prices in Japan are kind of up and down with us, but our salaries are pretty stagnant. So for things that do go up, you know, we're not really getting any other compensation for cost of living. And so it really feels like I'm making less money in general because things are just more expensive. And doubly so when I think about going to America, like my Christmas trip that I want to go on. You know, I'm looking at the cost and I'm thinking, you know, I would normally spend, I don't know, $5,000 to $8,000 for a trip to America on a Christmas trip. But you might as well make it $10,000 now, the way things are at this point. I mean, when you take in, if I spend if I use my Japanese credit cards or spend Japanese yen in the US dollars over there, then, you know, that's what it comes out to. It's just, it's not good. So that's kind of great for tourists coming to Japan, though. If you bring in US dollars, you're a king, because the exchange rate is so much into your favor. Pretty much any other currency for that matter, I think. The yen itself is just depreciating faster than any other currency that I know of right now. I'm not a supermarket expert on that, but I watch it close enough to understand where the movements are happening, and I know that what we're doing right now is not good. So anyway, there's that. The tourists are back, which is good. Work hasn't really changed that much. Work is still work, busy as all. Let's see, social life hasn't really changed that much. We are going out a lot more than we used to, and I'm certainly doing a lot more social things than we were doing. A lot of the people that I wasn't seeing because they were just paranoid of COVID, so they kind of were refusing to meet up and go out. I mean, I still have a few people that are kind of paranoid about it, so they don't go out. But a few people in my usual group have started returning to the normal social schedule, so therefore we're seeing each other more often now, which is great. The COVID situation in Japan, I don't know. I don't really follow it that much anymore because I kind of gave up. So I'm like, it's COVID, it's COVID, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to be any more different than what the flu is, and you know, I'm just tired of looking at it. So controversial opinion, I've kind of given up the mask. I don't wear a mask in general unless I'm going to be in a crowd of people or I'm going into a shop that requires it. So I still carry one with me, but generally, like right now I'm talking to you, I'm not wearing a mask like some bike riders are, which I don't quite understand, but okay. There are still Japanese people and other foreigners that are wearing gloves, like latex gloves, and double masking, and wearing goggles or the safety glasses. You know, there's I guess they're just either they have immune issues where they're immunocompromised, where they are higher risk maybe. So that I can understand, but I don't know. It's time to kind of move on from the rest of us. So I'm not saying you can't wear a mask. I'm saying you do what you want to do, basically. But the rule is there is no legal mandate that you wear a mask. Although social constructs here pretty much push everybody to wear a mask, just because I've got Japanese friends that are like, they don't want to wear a mask. They don't want to wear a mask anymore, and they're just waiting for more people to kind of buck the system and, you know, just stop wearing them. Because I've got a couple of girlfriends that were like, well, they kind of like hanging out with me because I don't care, and they feel like it's kind of like a freedom to be able to take the mask off and not worry about it so much. So that's good for them. And but they said once they're back with their regular friends or family or whatever, they feel the immense pressure to fit in, just like in typical Japanese society. You know, you gotta go with the social, whatever the social direction is. That's what you kind of gotta follow. Otherwise, you stick out and people stare at you. As a foreigner, I just don't care anymore. I mean, I do care, but I don't care. You know, I'm like, you guys can stare at me and sneer all you want. Don't care. I'm done. But like I said, I follow the rules where they're appropriate. But for general day-to-day stuff, I'm kind of done with it. I'm still remote work anyway, so I don't really go out that much other than to go grocery shopping or my social events, riding, whatever. I don't go to the office at all still. There is no specific mandate from our, you know, upper management that says we should be back in the office working at our desks. But that hasn't come, and I don't think it will. They tried to, a few months ago, they tried to push some of our monthly meetings back into the office, but there was a lot of pushback, which I was kind of shocked, because Japanese people pushing back on management, that was kind of unusual. So they canceled that mandate, and we're back to remote meetings, even for the monthly meetings we do. So there is no requirement to show up in the office at all. So yeah, I mean, I kind of do want to go to the office a little bit, like I've said in other videos, but I don't think I ever want to go back to 100% of the office. I really enjoy my work structure the way it is now, and according to our numbers, we have been just as productive, if not more productive, than we were before COVID. Our work hours and our project hours and everything, that all the measurements, all the KPIs, as you call them, all the KPIs indicate that, you know, we're actually performing better in the current situation than we were when we were all together in the office. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that there was so much commute time involved, going back and forth to meetings, and when you're actually looking at effective work time, I think, at least in my opinion as a manager, that that if people are traveling less, like, I mean, that's what our job used to require, but so much stuff is going remote now that we for outside meetings and even internal meetings, we don't see each other anymore. We just do it remotely. And again, that cuts down on office time. It also cuts down on expenses. Like, we don't, our commuting expenses, we've saved so much money in that area because people aren't renewing their commuter pass, and I haven't spent any, I really haven't used my work card anymore to use the train. So we're saving money on the commuting expenses, and we're saving money on office expenses. They've even gotten rid of the office phones. So we used to have desk phones in the office, but because everybody's pretty much remote, there are people that need to be in the office for some reasons, but even then they've kind of taken away the phones, and they're just, everybody's got a cell phone and a laptop, or a desktop, whatever. But yeah, so I mean, so there are cost savings happening, you know, with everybody being remote like that. So that, I don't know, that's good. I'm trying to think of some negatives here, but I can't think of any. I think I've mentioned before, the only thing that everybody's stopping all of a sudden. Sorry about that. I'm trying to think of a negative, and I can't really think of one. Yeah, sorry. What I was trying to say was, before I got rudely distracted there, I miss seeing my team, and we've got new employees that I haven't even met yet. I've talked to them on video chat and voice conference calls and things like that, but I haven't actually met them in person. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you meet them online. Yeah, it's the same thing, kind of. But you know, meeting somebody in person is a bit different than meeting online. You can kind of feel their personality, and they can see you, and I guess there's a little bit more respect exchange there because you've actually met in person and know each other now. It's kind of like having an online meeting is kind of like going through a dating app and meeting somebody over a dating app, and then having a relationship through the dating app before you meet. You know, it kind of feels the same way because you're having all these chat and voice sessions, and you never even met. It's kind of like a long distance relationship. Anyway, so to summarize, basically, borders open, tourists are here, people still wearing masks. COVID numbers are still up there, but I don't think anybody really cares that much anymore. They've got like I said, you have a certain subset of people that are just ultra paranoid, and those are pretty obvious when you see them out and about. You got people like me that are in the middle. And I want to clarify one point about the mask thing. It's just not me. You'll see more people out and about not wearing masks in public. Maybe not on transit. I would say 95% of people wearing masks on the train. That's my guess, or at least my observation. But when you're out in public, you'll see more people without it, or going through train stations. Even in the office, once you're in the office, people take off a mask. We don't have a mask mandate. We don't have a mask mandate anymore. So people, at least what I've heard, because I haven't been there, but people are saying that basically, once you're in the office, you know, use your judgment, but mask isn't required. So it's just not my opinion or what I feel. It's just what I'm going along with a certain group of people, because I'm just tired of carrying one around. I mean, I still have to carry one, but I just get tired of using it all the time. So I don't want to turn that into a debate. I just wanted to clarify my position on that, because I know some people are sensitive. Even some of my friends are sensitive to it, and they kind of bash me about not using a mask when they think I should always, 99% of the time, use a mask. I'm like, no, I'm not going to continue that lifestyle. That's not how we're going to live. Sorry, not going to agree with you. I think I'm going to stay above ground. Let me check the sign one more time here. Oh, that's for you, Ikejiri. I don't want to go there. Got to the side here quickly though. Yeah, no, I'm going to stay on this route and go through Shibuya. Or I mean, well, go towards Shibuya, I mean. I don't know why I thought I was in Shibuya earlier. I thought I passed it. No, not yet. Yeah, we're just going to keep going this way. I haven't taken you guys with me on this route before, at least coming this direction. We would normally get off this right exit here, and that'll take us down the circular route and down into the depths of the Yamate Tunnel, which goes under Yamate Dori, which goes home for me. But we're going to go a different way this time, just because we have sunlight and I still have time. All right, so now we're really passing Shibuya, which I can't even show you because of the highway. So I think is that the same tower? I think that's the same tower. I haven't been through here so long, I've forgotten where I'm at. I get so confused sometimes when I don't come through here, or at least go in the opposite direction. No, we're coming through Shibuya now. Okay, I'm dumb. Totally backwards. Because I believe we'll hit Shibuya and then Roppongi in passing, that is. So here's the Shibuya exit coming up now. There's one of the new towers they're building, and that's that tower on the left is the one with the park on top of it. You can see some of the people up there, I guess. Maybe not so good, but there's a park on. You can go up to the top of that building, and it's kind of nice. And there should be a station right there, always under construction. Should be a 109, and the crossing over there on the other side. And there's Roppongi Hills dead ahead that we'll be passing by here. Yeah, see, I got my buildings backwards. See that tall, slender building on the right? We saw one similar just before Shibuya. That's what I got confused, because I've been to that building for business before, and I couldn't remember if it was on top of the highway or beside it or what. But that kind of looks similar to the building we just saw a little bit ago. Big building directly ahead of us is the Roppongi Hills Tower. And they got that new building going up next to it, well, not really next to it, but kind of behind it. I know about that building, but I forgot the name of it. But that's going to be a tall building too. Another tower going up there. I don't know what that's going to be. Yeah, construction here never ends. They're always tearing down something and building something new. But somebody's got money to do all that. I sure don't. I'd love to have some so I could further do more real estate, but don't have a lot of excess cash. Alright, now we're passing Roppongi here. So this Roppongi cross point, that's where I park the motorcycle sometimes. And this is right over the Roppongi crossing. Yep. Alright, now I gotta decide. I think I'm gonna go Kasumiga Seki. I don't want to go back to the Shiba Koen side. There's the Izumi Garden Tower. More of the Mori Towers. Arc Hills, I guess it's called. I don't know, is it impressive that I know some of these towers' names, or is that just kind of geeky? Oh boy. Alright, so I guess to wrap this up, in summary, things are pretty good other than the exchange rate. But if you're a tourist and you're bringing in US dollars, you're golden. Enjoy living like a king, honestly, because that's what you're doing. Makes things so cheap. I overheard a Korean couple the other day. We were out having dinner somewhere, and there was a Korean tourist couple next to us, and they were talking kind of half in English and half in Korean, and they were commenting how cheap things were, and then they're going to come back pretty often why it's so cheap. So yeah. We're gonna go to. Oh, I thought that guy was. I thought for sure he was gonna go left. All right, this guy is like sitting on my corner, but he's not wanting to pass me. He's just sitting there, and I want to move over. Come on, man, make up your mind. Finally. But he's not moving that quick, but better than nothing. Oof, poor people merging in. Now he speeds up. Did I just shoot myself in the foot? Oh, not yet though. I gotta go to this left exit coming up here a little bit. I'm trying to wrap this video up, but I keep getting distracted from where I'm going. Concho is not where we're going, but Ikebukuro. Because I know that the Tohoku direction is going to be really jammed up. I don't want to go that way, so I'm going to go towards Ikebukuro.